Oh, is it there it goes. Okay. Here we are back at a day after podcasts. Uh
What's up, everyone? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Turkey Day. Um yeah, so we just got off of another episode of Survivor.
We
Um
did.
yeah, it was a good one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good gameplay by Lauren.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
like if this was anyone's episode, I feel like it's her episode where it was like, you know, I feel
She was
like
the focal point of basically the entire episode.
yeah, yeah. Um and I feel like, her challenge was pretty interesting and then I feel like there was good kind of like dynamic of like, oh, who is of like who's left in the game. I like how like in the first bit of it, it's like the goat army and like
Yeah.
the goats.
Uh-huh.
Like Dean was like, "Oh, Lieutenant Kurishima at your service" or whatever.
Yeah. I think it would be so funny if the final three are Dean, Nora, and Karishma, and he loses to Karishma.
Oh, I just don't see. I really don't see Kurishima winning.
But like how she beats Dean and Nora.
She may beat Nora, but I
She
don't know.
beats
Like,
Dean, especially when she plays that other legacy advantage.
okay, okay. Now, I was actually thinking
It's a
Dean
great
was
move
actually
if it was real.
that's exactly what I thought. If it was a real, legacy, it would have been a good move. Or maybe I don't know, it still depends on how he plays it. He can be like at the last tribal or the last tribal where he can quote unquote play it. Oh yeah, I still have this by the way. What you saw was the fake.
I feel like he's going to try to be sneaky with it, and
Maybe,
that's good chance that's going to be the downfall. And it would be so funny if he gets voted out final six because of that.
I think I definitely think, it is possible, but I guess because he still believes that it's a real legacy
Yeah,
advantage, which I still don't get why he does because it's like not printed.
yeah. No, everyone's like, I think it's real. The Survivor tries to make it very clear with when they use a piece of paper that it's real or not.
Exactly.
Also, how did he find a brush and an ink thing on the islands?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, um, well, with Dean, like, I guess for Dean's, it didn't necessarily have to be, like perfect
Yeah,
because
but still, like he just found that, and like Foster Rob made a big deal about, hey, you have this pen. When have you ever seen a pen on Survivor? Let's just not remind the audience of JT on Her Heroes versus Villains when he wrote Russell Bats.
yeah, I mean, they could have, you're out on an island, someone might have brought that as a luxury item, pen and paper.
They don't even do luxury items anymore, do they?
I don't know. Um,
Yeah,
at least they don't make a big deal out of it, at least.
yeah. I haven't really seen luxury items in I don't know how long.
Yeah. This is something because as the game or as the show has evolved, it's become less about survival and making things less about survival and more about strategy.
Usually, the only real survival stuff is the first, maybe second episode, but even then, there's still more strategy going on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's funny. It's like because like early Survivor, it's like when the show first came out, it was like, oh, these people being stranded on an island and everything, and then occasionally they have to vote people out. But now it's like, oh yeah, this is like strategy in an intense environment. So
Yeah,
I guess that's why we haven't really seen anything like that, or like a lot of the challenges back then were more survival based, or like we get special ones. Now it's more obstacle course and puzzles and stuff like that.
uh, Yeah, I'm still waiting for the individual immunity obstacle course kind of thing because now we're at final eight. We should be getting one pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah. Um, in good time. I feel. I mean, I definitely think since there's only like two more episodes before the finale, we'll definitely get one. I think final seven, maybe.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the next bits. Oh yeah. So Lauren gets selected to go to Island of the Idols. Um. And she had a great reaction to seeing Boston Rob and Sandra. She
Uh,
drops her stuff and just runs right at Sandra.
yeah, and I think she put it best. Like it's like exciting to see these two legends. Like people do go on the show. It's like and look up to these guys. So it's like cool to actually meet them in real life, especially you know because wow, they're like at least I think at this point, yeah, they were at 29 days before
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
'cause
like
they said tomorrow, and Elizabeth got voted out at 30. Spoiler alert.
for watching this show, you've probably already seen the episode.
Yeah, if you've come here before seeing it, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. But yeah, and I feel like her challenge was really, really interesting. I was seeing it, I was like, yeah, it is a bit risky choosing 1 in 9 who could win, unless you
Mhm.
are about I don't know, because she did know everyone on the tribe, and then she really, really thought about it.
Mhm.
1 in 9, that is a bit hard odds because there's always some tomfoolery that might happen.
Yeah, we see some crazy people win individual immunities sometimes that there's no way you could have been able to predict. Like, who would
Yeah,
have thought John Cochran would have won that many immunities in his season?
exactly. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why he got so far. They didn't see him as that much of a threat going
Yeah,
forward.
exactly.
But
And yeah, so Boss Rob ends up letting her choose two of the nine this time, which is great because she had it down to two people.
yeah,
Um,
the simple fact of how it's, in the challenge, the only three people were competing, and it just so happened to be, two, the two that she wanted were in that three. So it's well played on her part.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And honestly, when Boss Rob presented the challenge, I was just like, I feel like Nora's gonna win, especially when they explained what the challenge was.
When Lauren said, it was like, oh, like Nora, she gets very focused on these challenges. I'm like, yeah, she does seem to have that mentality a lot,
Yeah,
with concentration. It's something definitely like this where it is endurance and it is concentration. Like, that does play to her strength.
yeah. And she's also a vegan, so she's not gonna eat the pancakes and the bacon.
Yep, that helps.
That
That always
is
helps.
that yeah, that was the most important thing was are they going to eat or not?
Yeah, and I think Lauren also, because she knew that it was like a food advantage and stuff like that, it was like, oh, okay, she can play that more and more and get people to sit out.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that many people sit out in a eat or play challenge.
I think the only one was when I think it was in Boston Rob season, because I distinctly remember like Don Cochran and or no, not Don. It might have been
Yeah,
was
it's
it
like
coach's season? Coach's season. It was
South
like Don
Pacific.
Cochran.
Oh, that's yeah. Yeah, because that group of mindless zombies all knew that they weren't going to vote out each other, so so they could all just eat.
But like first time in a long time, like hell, that was like that. was almost like 10 years ago. So it's like, it
Yeah.
has been quite a while.
Yeah. Okay. Because yeah, that season 6 people sat out. And then this season 6 people sat out. So same amount.
Yeah. And, um, I found it interesting. Like, obviously, Lauren didn't have to do it, but part of me would have been like, just in case, like, be in the challenge for assurance.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, hell, it worked out in her favor. So
Yeah. I would have just eaten like. If I was out there for 30 days with barely any substance, yeah, I just especially once you see that the 2 people you have going for it are just facing charisma, yeah, just
yeah. I mean, well, I mean, you didn't know until you revealed the
yeah,
roster. I
yeah,
mean,
exactly. But
there was something I wanted to bring up about Island of the Idols before Lauren, volunteered to go and everything. Karishma said something of like, oh, she hasn't been. There's still, I guess now, like half the people that are left on the island haven't been to Island of the Idols.
uh,
Tom hasn't, Dean hasn't, Dan hasn't, and Karishma.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I think it'd be so funny if someone who wins the season never went to Island of the Idols, does not know about Boston Rob or Sandra, and then the final tribal council, they just walk out and are like, what the fuck?
Like Tommy is there and it's like, oh shit. But yeah, it's like also one thing I was wondering too, the three other people that have been, Nora, who's known to have kind of a big mouth, um, no one ever was like talking to her about it because when someone comes back with some news or whatever, it's like, huh, wonder what the test was. Like I'd be wondering that a bit more. I feel like or at least in my head, I'm like, all right, if I knew about Island of the Idols and someone comes back from it, I'm like, okay, they're telling us certain information. What is their game? What is, what game are they
Yeah.
playing to win? You know, I'd
I
be
feel
thinking,
I feel like these contestants are very trusting of each other with Island of the Idols. They're
mm,
not. They're taking their word and they're like, you know what? I trust this person full heartedly.
I mean, we're getting that part of the game where that's not necessarily the smartest thing, though, is like, we're
Exactly.
yeah, we have like four more, triples, one fire making challenge. It's like
Hmm.
now it's where, advantages are more important than ever.
Yeah. This also really shows how tight Lauren is in the tribe, because a lot of other people who go to Island of Idols are immediately targeted in the next votes,
Oh yeah.
and she wasn't even like brought up.
I think because you wave food in front of a bunch of starving people and it's like, oh, food, food, food. They totally forget about it.
Yeah.
Also like Lauren and Tommy, like I feel this episode more than any other just showed how great of a team they are. Because,
Hmm.
Tommy even like playing up the food thing with them and it's like
Yeah. I
you're
think if Lauren was the only one playing up the food, it wouldn't have gone over as well. But because we also had Tommy who was buying into it full heartedly, it made everyone else feel like they can as well.
yeah. Which really, really good gameplay in the sense of like, you know, now I don't know how many people would actually do it if they didn't, talk about it so much, because it's like that's an interesting what if scenario because yeah, I don't know, I was a little bit hmm, because I know me personally, I don't like having my fate in anyone's hand. Uh,
Oh.
I might have actually betted on myself a little bit. If I was choosing two, I'd be like, all right, me and then someone else. Probably like but I don't think I would have picked Nora just because in that moment I'd be like, Nora, she's just a crazy kook. But yeah. I don't know. I feel how many times am I going to do that? She definitely. I think she chose the right thing. I was just like, ooh. Whenever I see someone not play immunity challenge, even if they seem in the power position, I'm like, oh, that is so risky. Uh,
Uh, yeah, I'm usually on that same boat. I just feel like there's no chance Lauren or Tommy were going home this time.
I mean, as we're getting closer to the end, uh, I mean, because at Tribal, Karishma. Well, first off, everyone's face when that happened, they were like,
Yes.
it was like, it was like so freaking hilarious. It was like, oh my god, everyone was like, what the heck? No, what
Yeah.
Karishma of all people? It's and she's one of the only players this season who has played an idol, right?
Yes. And she negated 7 votes. That's
Yeah,
that's that's quite a quite a big number in Survivor.
yeah, definitely. And it's like, congrats to her and everything, because like, wow.
Like
Uh,
I feel like you can't say she's a goat now though.
I don't think so.
I
I
think
don't
once you
think so.
play an idol correctly and send someone home because of it, I think you officially don't become a goat.
Especially in a season where, you know, everyone has been playing idols incorrectly. Now, Lauren, she played her idol very poorly.
Yeah, like I,
I
I
feel
was
like
I was certain she wasn't playing it tonight, and she did it.
I was honestly surprised. Like, I understand when you see probably, or at least perception wise, the worst player in the game have an idol, you think some kind of tomfuckery is going on, and it's like, no. So I
Yeah.
can understand how the paranoia, sets in.
Yeah, that really gave away like, oh, so everyone voted for Karishma basically.
Yeah. And honestly, it's not a bad thing either. It's like if everyone is unanimous, there's no real blind side really, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, because then Elizabeth would have been the only one left out of the loop again, and she voted for Janet.
Um Anywho. But yeah, when I saw Janet's name, I was like, no, what the hell?
Hmm.
I was legit upset. I was like, oh no.
I
I
thought
saw
she
her
was
name.
going. Yeah.
And then, a revote, which you know, Elizabeth went, which I'm okay with, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, I'm not like she was okay.
Um, Honestly, I feel like her as a player, she could have done more. Um, and also as being challenge threat, honestly, she didn't really stand out in a lot of many challenges.
Yeah, I think she was waiting for the swim challenge where they have to swim, get something, and come back and then do a puzzle or something. I think she was waiting for that challenge and never got to it.
Uh, Watch it be the next one.
Yeah, and then Janet's gonna kill it.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna. Now we Wow, it is the front wave, which means, like one of these 8 people, because when in the beginning, when you see 20 people, it's like really hard to say who's going to
Uh-huh.
win. But now it's like, since we're halfway through the last half of the game, it's like, wow, one of these people are going to, be the sole survival.
Mhm. Yeah, this is really like the main cast of the season now. Like this is the people that they've really been focusing on for these last 30 days, last 11 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, wow. And at this point, who do you think might win?
um, so I actually went on to a Survivor betting site to look at the odds that people have placed on who's going to win this season. And right now, Elaine is number 1. And I was shocked. um,
I mean, because one, she's extremely likable. Two,
uh,
she has underdog status, and underdog status can always, help at,
uh,
final tribal because
yeah.
it's like oh yeah, I survived all of this stuff.
Mm.
Like I overcame so much.
I do think if she gets to the final three, she wins in pretty much any scenario. There might be some close ones with maybe like Tommy, um, but I could see her winning in every scenario. But the thing is, I don't see her getting to that point.
I can see her. I can see her getting there. Because I mean, it's interesting because even this episode, it's like, oh, we can get rid of this person this episode, or we can get over the next one, and suddenly they're in the final three. You know, I guess it also depends on because A, who keeps winning immunity or who keeps finding these idols and who are playing them right. But also, I feel because yeah, the quote unquote goats, you know,
Yeah, the Goat
they
Army.
they help you if they're like in the final three. Was like let's take Cochran's season, two
Mm,
people that really didn't play too hard.
yeah.
Obviously, everyone to vote for Cochran. Um, so in a scenario like that, you want to keep the goats around, but at the same time, it's like if they're taking a place in the final three, that lowers your chances of being in the final three. So it's
Uh,
tricky. I guess
yeah. If there's more goats than players, and they realize that, then they'll
yeah,
just vote out the players.
exactly. Because the big threats we have, still think Tommy is. Dean might still be perceived as a threat.
I think he's perceived, but I don't think he's
No.
going to be considered by the jury standards at least.
Well, yeah, yeah, but like,
But I
yes, he
think
get.
because he I thought it was so funny when he said they're going to target the big players like Dean, and he prefaced himself versus the big player, and I just laughed.
Yeah, he hasn't really made too many big plays. I feel
Yeah,
like,
his biggest play was when Kelly gave him an idol to play.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like the fake legacy thing where he made his own fake of the fake. Sorry.
Uh,
Um,
all good.
think that is a good play, and he can still play it off pretty well in the at the final six. Because even if he believes it or not, he can still like pull it out and be like, oh, okay, so this is still like power in the game, kind of like what Russell Hands did in season 19, where
Uh,
he just wore the necklace in front of
yeah,
everyone. This means power. This is like an intimidation thing.
yeah. I feel like he's gonna try to target Krishna at that point, and then get votes on himself to use it to then vote out Karishma.
I
How
still
fu-
would. Oh,
I can see that happening. I see that if he thinks that that is real and everyone else seems like they think it's real, him to think that it's real enough to get votes to get her out.
yeah, but still, even if you are, you don't know what type of tomfuckery might happen. Like,
Yeah.
I don't recall if there has been an incident yet, or if this twist has come, but idol nullifier,
Hmm.
or like because if I'm out there, there could be a number of different factors. There could be, something like that. There could be another like super idol or whatever, because Survivor likes to mix things up with like different kind of twists and stuff, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
An idol nullifier would have been, scary. So I wouldn't want to risk that at
Yeah.
all. I would
Yeah.
never focus on myself.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we'll ever see an Island Nullifier again. Maybe in season 40. Because they're gonna
Yeah.
have so many different advantages and twists in that season. It's gonna be something to talk about. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, what else do we need to talk about? There was a moment where Karishma was feeling down about herself in the immunity challenge.
uh,
And we've talked a lot about Karishma on this show,
yeah.
and I'm guessing so does everyone else. But Jeff, there was that moment where it was like, even the strongest people fail and stuff like that. I was like, wow, what a great host in the sense of like he knows how to like talk to people and not like because he sees everything obviously, but
Uh-huh.
he was still being like Booster was like, don't give up really, or like still being kind of like encouraging. So like
Hmm.
props to him. Props to him.
Oh, oh. See that little pun you did? It was terrible, but I love it. um,
You know, that's an interesting thing. We talk about all these characters, but Jeff is, you know, the host. Give some
yeah,
props to him.
yeah. I can't wait for he when he wins the most valuable player award for just being a great
Yes,
host.
bro. Oh yeah. Um, man, that's what we should have done. The episode where everyone was playing badly, like Jeff wins. That's what we should have done for
We should
the
have done that. We can reverse the decision right now.
yeah. So amendment or not amendment. What's the right word for it?
Let's just use amendment anyways, because I can't
All
think
right.
of it.
For the episode where everyone was so uncomfortable, Jeff was actually the most valuable player for
Yes.
handling everything. Yeah.
Yes. A lesser host wouldn't have done as well.
Yeah.
A lesser host maybe could have
Yep.
ended the show because he wouldn't have handled it very well.
Maybe. Maybe. But, he's been doing this for 20 something years. And granted, not a whole lot of things, at least to this level, has happened on the show. So, like, but he's still like, he's knowledgeable. He knows you know, he's been doing this for almost 2 decades. Like, it's crazy to think about. It's like,
Mhm.
wow. Like having a gig for that long.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that he was applying to be a game show host back before Survivor.
Yeah. And then like, wow, because like even when he said, because I saw an interview where he was like, this would be a cool gig for like 3, maybe 4 seasons. Oh wait,
Yeah,
fast forward, we're approaching the 20-year anniversary coming up.
yeah,
It's crazy to think, you know.
yeah. I mean, a show like this hadn't really existed before then, and so I definitely could see this just him thinking like, oh yeah, it's not gonna be. It's just gonna be a nice kind of few years. Get a good paycheck.
Yeah, yeah,
um, but yeah, no. It just rocketed off, and here we are now.
yeah. Um, yeah. Because he has been doing this long. Like I remember when I was watching Big Brother with my father,
Uh-huh.
and like he was like and Julie Chen runs that. She's the host for that, and then all right, my father can be a little bit of a misogynist
Oh boy,
dick.
here it
So
comes.
he was like, she's getting pretty old. I wonder if they're going to replace her. I'm like, that's like saying, oh, Jeff has been doing this for 20 years. Would Jeff be, replaced just because he's getting older? Like,
Mm,
but like he's such a great host and he's so like integral to the Survivor,
yes.
series that I can't really see anyone else host that show,
What about like
especially
Boston Rob?
hmm,
Like bring him on for like a few seasons, like after Jeff leaves as like a transitional.
as a transitional, yes. I don't know. It's just like it's like it's so hard to see anyone else take up the mantle as
Yeah,
host. Like,
yeah. Because
it's
even
like
Boston Rob, he's too he'd be too critical on everyone in a sense. And
I feel yeah, he would see some dumb gameplay and then he'd be like, or like, it's like, why would you do this? Or it was like,
are you kidding me?
exactly.
Yeah,
Uh,
no,
Same thing with Sandra. I feel like she would not.
no,
She'd be like, "You're an
no way
idiot."
she's going to be the host.
Yeah. Um, you know, Cochran. Cochran.
Cochran, I maybe.
Um, but yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen for a while,
Yeah.
a long while. Uh, but yeah, I know this all started out with uh, at some point we talked about the most valuable player, and
Uh,
Jeff being that. Let's talk about this week's most valuable player.
that's right.
Or
You go first because I know who you're gonna pick.
I gotta say, it's Lauren, even though she played the idol wrong. You know, just how well everything was kind of like orchestrated. You know, I think she did a great job. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Dave
I'm
Christian.
going with Karishma back to back. She's killing it now, okay?
She's improved. She's improved
She
a
is
lot.
no longer a goat, and that is huge.
Yeah,
Because everyone has been writing her off since day one, and now all of a sudden here we are, day 30, and she's still there.
all right. I
She's
think
playing the game.
she will definitely be considered more of a threat because once someone plays an idol, it's like they had an idol, okay, so they're actually playing the game. I think, especially after they fail to take her out, they'll be more inclined to take her out next time.
Yeah. I feel like she might also go to Island of the Idols this next time and watch her get another idol.
Uh, Speaking of next time, it is going to be
Yes.
the Loved One episode.
It is the loved one. And so, yeah, next week I'll tell you why that's a terrible twist and they need to get rid of it.
I like it. I'm a bit sucker for, you know, heartwarming things. So like, I always like it. And then see kind of
Yeah.
like more of like what their, home life is like. Who do
Yeah.
they like close to them?
hmm
But,
we also have to go back because we didn't do the least valuable player.
um, I would say in the sense that he really didn't do anything this episode. I'm gonna say Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, and also how the way that he, when he knew that his name was getting brought up by Krishma and Elizabeth, he kind of went over there and didn't have the best conversation.
Also, yeah, that was kind of like dumb in the sense of like Lauren was like baiting him. It was like, oh yeah, totally do that. I'm like, how are you not seeing that? Like she is trying to start some stuff. It's like
Yeah.
it's like why? What was it's like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was nothing to gain from him going over there.
exactly. I mean, I think Tommy did best last week, where it was like, oh, you hear your name, maybe try and make sure the person's going home. But I mean, at this point, Karishma didn't tell anyone that she had an idol or anything like that. So it's like, or no one would even expect her to have an idol. So what would be the point, really? What would
Yeah.
be the threat? But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously the easier one would be Elizabeth because she got voted out and didn't do that great in the challenge. But like she had no one to really go to, so like you can't really fault her for that.
exactly. Also, I mean, she at least participated in the challenge, and she
Yeah.
didn't get out first, really.
Yeah. Yeah, like I imagine if we were in her position, it'd be really hard for us to make something happen. Like you might be able to, but it's also like she did get the numbers on her side in the end, in a sense, even though it wasn't her involvement.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I'm still it's still after the one episode. It's like, I still have like a sour taste in my mouth. It's died down, but it's still like, I feel impartial to her in a lot of things. But I mean, because I think I chose her last week, did I? Or who did I choose last week?
For the least valuable player, I think it was her. I
Yeah,
think you chose just because she's now like left all by her lonesome.
yeah, and now she's gone. But
Yeah,
yeah, because I feel like it didn't warrant her to be, nominated at least by me again. So yeah, I'm gonna go
yeah.
with Dan.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll vote Dan as well because yeah, there's really not a lot of options that no one played particularly bad.
No, I feel like it kind of like what you were saying, him going up and then starting commotion. It's like you could have potentially put more heat on yourself if
Yeah,
that's what they wanted to do.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you hear your name coming up, you don't go to the people who are bringing up your name. You try to get other people to then go for the people bringing up your name.
Precisely. So, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's everything.
yeah, that's everything for this episode of Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
on a scale of 1 to 10, how was this episode of Survivor?
I give it a solid seven.
A 7?
7 is
Nice.
7 is
I give it like a 7.5 because I really like that tribal.
Tribal was pretty good, especially everyone's face.
Yeah.
I feel there was like I said, Lauren played good gameplay. The surprise of Karishma.
Yep.
Um,
Krishna is secretly the strongest player in the game.
I don't think she's a sleeper threat. I think she is a threat to people's game, but I don't think she is a
Yeah.
threat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just think it's so funny how she keeps avoiding getting voted out. She should have been voted out so many times.
Yeah. I feel like that's going to run thin pretty soon because, next tribe. Well, I mean, the idol is back out in the wild now.
Yeah. Is she gonna just start finding idols?
We'll see who now. Didn't didn't she kind of just find it by accident
Yeah,
too?
so that's why I'm thinking she's probably not going to find it.
Yeah.
Maybe she
Maybe,
will. Maybe.
maybe Tommy, maybe Lauren, because especially after you misplay an idol, you
Mhm.
get desperate and want it back. It's like,
Yeah.
oh crap. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then once you make
There's going
one
to be
up,
some idol scrambling
yeah, definitely. I can
because
see that.
especially once you see two idols get played, like you know that there's a guarantee to be something out there when you head back to camp.
Exactly. Exactly. But we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in. Have a happy Turkey Day, and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya. Peace out, guys.